I cook year-round all the time, but for the holiday, this is when I like to cook the best. I like to take my time and cook something with the family, something that I enjoy cooking. Tradition is big at our house. We like to eat together and have fun, and even though, you know, you kind of splurge a little bit during holiday, you can still do terrific cooking, and with a menu like we are going to do today, which is about half of what usually holiday meals are. I mean, it can go to 3,000 calories, and I think ours will be in the area of less than half of this. And what we're going to start with is the turkey, of course. There is no holiday for me without a turkey. I love turkey. My wife loves turkey. My daughter, my brother, everyone is crazy about turkey at our house. So I have one in the oven now, which has been cooking for about 20 minutes. What I do is to start it this way, breast side up, for about 20 minutes, so that I form a crust on top, and so it doesn't stick. And when I have that crust formed on top, then I turn the turkey upside down, and all of that so that now the juice goes into the turkey and it stays nice and moist. So I don't really have to baste it at that point. The reason is that, as I say, the juice will go into the turkey. Now for my sauce, I use whole cloves of garlic and diced onion. And that has now to go back into the oven, and we cook it for about an hour and a half more. So it depends on your size, but I like small turkey. First, you save in time, and you save in energy cooking, you know, two small turkey, about 10. This one is about 11 pounds, rather than the large one. What we are going to do next is the stuffing. And for that stuffing that we are doing, I have that will go later on into the sauce, but I wanted to show you that we have here the neck of the turkey, as well as the gizzard. I put that in water, and I cook it for like an hour, so it's nice and tender. I will pick the meat out of this to put in the gravy later, and the juice that it's cooked on will going to go in the pan also to make our gravy. So we use everything. Remember that we put no fat or anything to start the turkey. There is plenty fat in the skin, and actually when we do the gravy, we're going to remove the fat. So our stuffing now. The stuffing here, we have breadcrumb, that is diced bread. This is whole wheat bread, which has been browned. I have golden raisin, I have celery, I have onion, garlic, and the herb de Provence, which are a mixture of different type of herb with those little blue flowers, which are lavender flowers in it, and dry mushroom. See those dry mushroom like those here, shiitake, and I have tree mushroom here. We soak them in water. That not only is terrific to put in the stuffing, but the juice we're going to use also is quite strong. So what we'll do, a little bit of oil in there. We do the stuffing only with oil. In our stuffing, we have less than half the amount of fat that you would have in regular stuffing. And we put first the onion in it, that we're going to slice nicely, chopped rather, and that's sauté. And a bit of celery. The celery is special to the stuffing also. I like to use those things of celery, which we cut in little dice also. You know, you can crack it like that on the table, cut it into strip, and finally get it together to chop it coarsely, or small dice, you know, about 1/4 of an inch. I like to cook the stuffing separate from the turkey. First, it's easier, and it's easier to serve, and I am sure that the stuffing comes to the temperature that I want it to cook at, because often when you put it inside, it starts fermenting, it doesn't get hot enough, you know. So what we have next is those mushrooms. And you know, that dark, strong juice from those dry mushrooms, this is really going to give taste to our stuffing. And what I do there is just to chop that coarsely. I wash the mushroom first under water, then I put them to soak, you know. Here it is. And a dash of salt and pepper in there. That's it. freshly ground pepper. And it's just saute a little bit to soften, you know. Now we can put it here and finish the stuffing. And in our stuffing we have those golden raisins, which are good. I put a bit of garlic. The garlic could be sauteed in there or put directly into here. Herbe de Provence. You know, you can put all the type of herb if you want, fresh herb. The bread. And I'm going to moisten that with a bit of that juice. Pour it slowly here. You don't want to put the bottom part of it where you may have a little bit of sand, you know. And that's it. We prepare that stuffing ahead. It should be kind of loose. Directly into the loaf pan. And that's it. This has to be covered now. Then we put it in the oven for about half an hour. Just put it when you're about ready. Well, half an hour or 45 minutes before you take the turkey out. You put your stuffing so it's nice and hot when you're ready to use it. So what we are going to do now is the first course of our holiday meal. And the first course is actually snow peas and scallop. And I need a little bit of water in there. I just want to steam the snow peas. So I will steam them in that water. And I have here the snow peas. I have some Tabasco. I have some red and yellow pepper, the scallop, and a bit of butter I put in there with a little bit of oil. So the first thing is the snow peas. I'll put those which are already clean to cook. And as you can see, again, it's a type of steaming process because actually I put that amount of water. By the time this will be cooked, there will be no water left. So we continue with the rest of the recipe. So the first steaming, and by doing it this way, I don't refresh the vegetable. I don't wash them under water. I don't lose any of the liquid that I cook it in. So I get all the nutrient, of course, and all the taste of the vegetable. So I have the scallop that I want to mention to you here. Those scallop, I may as well put that to get it warm. Those scallop here, if you're able to see, have a little muscle on top right here that I'm removing. See that little thing? That little thing is tough. So you want to pull it out. Now if you do a scallop mousse, then it's fine because it's ground directly. But if you do what I'm doing today, you want to remove that thing and wash your scallop. For the red pepper, I peel it with a vegetable peeler. I peel it wherever I have access to it. And of course, in the pleat there where I don't have access, then I cut it between those pleats so that now I have access to the side that I couldn't reach before with that vegetable peeler. It's an easy way and a fast way to peel it. And it makes a big difference when you peel it because it doesn't come back to you. Remember that those are red, those are orange. You have some yellow one. I mean, there is a lot of different ones on the market. So I'm cutting that. That's going to go with the snow peas in a few seconds. This is a very fast type of dish. And with that, I will heat up a bit more of oil here. And for that, a little piece of butter. Another little piece of butter. I mean, the whole recipe will be less than 1 tablespoon of butter. I'm putting a piece here and that over there. A bit of Tabasco in there, a dash of salt, and we're ready soon to saute the scallop. I want to show you there, the snow peas also should be peeled because there is a string on each side. See, if you take the end of it, you will have that string coming out here, then you break it at the end, and the string will come out on the other side. If you don't do that, it's going to be pretty tough to eat, you know, even the small one. So I saute this. I can put this one here now. And the scallop, we arrange them one next to the other so that they brown nicely on each side. The scallops are going to cook quite fast in there. You want them on a very, very hot skillet with a dash of salt on top and a dash of pepper that I have here. It, of course, is a festive dish, and I have two different color vegetables which are going to go well with what I'm doing today. You know? As the scallop crust on one side, you turn them, and now basically we are ready to arrange our dish on plate. I'm going to turn the scallop on this side here. See, as soon as they change color, the scallop, and start browning on one side, you don't want to overcook your scallop. Those are fairly large sea scallops, and they will take a couple of minutes on each side. Okay, here we are. Now let's arrange some snow peas. Beautiful color, and it's particularly appropriate for the holiday when you have the red and the green here. Scallop arranged all over. And our scallops are about ready now. I'll put them on top. 5 or 6 scallops per person, depending on size, you know, sometimes a bit less. This is about the amount you want to serve. And this is our first course for the holiday menu. We splurge a little bit for the holiday, more than usual, especially in dessert. What I like to do best is chocolate truffle, candied orange rind. That's really Christmassy holiday for me. And I want to show you how to do those chocolate truffle. I have melted chocolate here, which are about that thickness, with a little bit of milk. Into this, we put an egg yolk, and as I stir it, you will see that it starts thickening with the egg yolk, you know. However, because of problem with salmonella, some people kind of are a little afraid to use egg yolk. So what you could do, now it's thicker, I can leave it at 140 degrees. That's about the temperature it is now for like 3 minutes. And that avoids any problem if you have a bit of if you are a bit conscious about this. I have shredded mint into it. We mix it, and that's it. When it stays for a couple of minutes there, it is ready. You put it in a bowl, and that will become hard like this. Now we do small chocolate truffle with that. I just mold them out with a spoon like this and put them right on top of cocoa powder. What I do very often, I just mold them this way and put them back in the refrigerator so that they start getting real hard, you know. And when those are hard, they are not quite as hard now as they should be, then I mold them with my finger because they are hard. I don't want them round. I want them kind of twisted and so forth, just the same way that a real truffle is. And I know that chocolate truffle are caloric, but you know, that side they're about 30 calories each, which is not that much. So you roll them like this in those chocolate truffle, in the cocoa powder, and now they will look like a real truffle. Remember that a truffle is a subterranean mushroom which push in the roots. It grows in the root system of certain tree, and it has a nut shape and all that, and kind of covered with dirt like this one is. That's why we imitate. That's why we call it a truffle, you know. So we put that on top here, and the next thing that we want to do is the candied rind of orange, you know. And the candied rind of orange, again, it's great because you can do it ahead. You can give it to friends and so forth. I do it usually with a vegetable peeler like this. That vegetable peeler makes a thick slice, and that's what I want. So we cut those slices after into strip about that size. And those strips now are kind of bitter. So what you do, you put them in a bowl with about 2-3 cups of cold water, bring it to a strong boil, pour that mixture into a sieve, wash it under water, then put it back into your skillet, into your saucepan with sugar and water, and cook them for like 45 minutes. And at the end of that, they should look about like this one does. You know, cook in that sugar. Not quite caramel, it's still white, as you can see. In fact, talking about caramel, I have a caramel here that I'm going to use in a while. It just finished cooking, and I'm going to use it to do a fancy decoration with it in a few minutes. For the time being, those candied orange rind, what you do with them, you lift them up with your fork and put them in sugar. Then you can separate them in the sugar themselves. You know, you want them to be saturated with the sugar. If they get saturated with the sugar like this, then you take them out, and those are going to get hard. I mean, look, you can hear how hard those are now. You want them chewy and elastic. And this, you can put them in a Tupperware and something, and you can keep that for weeks, you know. But you want to have them covered, otherwise they get too hard. And now, to decorate those that we're going to have with this here, which is of course our Christmas thing, we are going to do a beautiful decoration, which is a caramel cage. I have cooked that caramel, as you can see, and let it cool off a little bit so that I get the viscosity that I have here about this. Now I have a bowl here, which is a stainless steel bowl, and I oil it lightly. What I want to do is to do long strip of caramel from one side to the other. You see, very often people tell me, I cannot do a caramel cage, it breaks. You have to follow the sound principle of architecture here. That is, you bring your caramel from one side to the other of the bowl, like building a house. By doing this, of course, you're putting your beams, the large beam. When you've done that in a couple of places like this, you can put some in between, and now it will hold. This has to cool off for a couple of minutes, theoretically, so that the caramel hardens, and it's ready to take it off. So it's relatively easy to do. I push it on this side. The caramel, I could put water in it again, and in that water I could do a caramel sauce with it or remelt it. If you want to clean that up, just fill it up with water and let it will melt. So you can see that here, with our chocolate truffle and our orange rind, I have those little fig in the middle. Those are small mission fig, which I press so that they hold sitting, and cut the hat off, make a little hole there. And here I have almond paste. You know, you take a little piece of almond paste that you roll. I mean, you can do another color to it and place that right in the middle. I mean, what we are doing here is like little Christmas Santa Claus, you know, walking. And I have the skin of an orange. I could do a little bit of a type of leaves to place that, to do a little bit of a decoration right there, you know. Okay, well, I push it with the knife inside. Okay, here. So this is cute. You can do it with different color. And what I want to do now is to see whether my caramel cage is coming up. It should. It's not quite cold yet. When it's cold, it will come out relatively easy, but it has to be a bit colder than what it is. You push it from one side to the other. It's coming up on this side. As you can see here, it's still a bit soft, you know. So I put it right on top of it, and through the griddle of that, you could arrange some flowers and make really a beautiful decoration with this. You know, the turkey has to cook about an hour and a half in the oven, but I want to let it rest also. When it comes out of the oven, let it rest 20 minutes or so. The juice will go through it, and it's much better before you carve into it. I have my turkey here now, and my stuffing, which is finished, and the gravy. I want to tell you a little bit about the gravy. It is important in the type of cooking that we do. Particularly, I take the gravy, the pan, you know, all the juice out of the pan, the onion and all that. We put that in a large, in a skillet like this. And what I did after that, I let that rest for about 5–10 minutes and pick up all the fat from the top, as much of the fat as I could. Then remember that I had that giblet and the neck. We pulled the meat out of that, cut it into pieces to add it to it, and thicken that just a little bit with a dash of potato starch, you know. So I put a bit of the gravy on top for color here, and it looks beautiful on top, and the rest in a gravy boat that we can serve at the table directly. And the stuffing around, you know, my stuffing is nice and loose now the way with the bread, and that strong smell of mushroom that I can taste, you know, through it. I love the smell of those dry mushrooms, really makes it here. And I don't like to fuss around too much with the turkey. You see the gravy on the side, the stuffing right there. And with this, in that menu, I did a puree of carrot with some ginger on top. And I didn't have time to show it to you, but you should have a couple of vegetables around, you know, either green vegetable or yellow vegetable in addition to your stuffing and the sauce. And this is our beautiful turkey like this is ready to serve and carve in the dining room now. The holiday would be very incomplete without the family. And today I'm very happy that my daughter is here, and Claudine, just fresh out of college, is joining me for dinner.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Well, it's nice to have you. Anytime, Titin. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to give you a piece of turkey, and I know the piece of turkey that you like, so I am not even going to ask you. I know that you like the dark meat right here, which I cut, and actually this is the drumstick. And with this, we have the stuffing, we have the gravy, but tell us a little bit what's in there, because you help in the kitchen making it this morning.
This is a puree of carrots that we do in the food processor, and it has ginger and some olive oil, and it's really good for the holidays. The ginger is a nice spice to have.
That's good.
Yep.
And I put you a little bit of gravy.
Yes, please.
And the first course that we have here now, you want to tell us what it is?
Well, the scallops and the snow peas, and it's a really nice first course because it's kind of light, because afterwards we have a lot of food to eat.
Yes, and it's colorful. Good. And finally, of course, I'm going to give you this.
Okay.
And for dessert, I have done the cage there, which is really a decorative element on top of our chocolate truffle and the candied orange and those little tiny mission fig stuff with marzipan. But this is not the way you do it, right? What do you do with it?
No, see, I mean, having just graduated from college and not having all that much money, I like to make gift boxes with the food. And you can use some fresh mint and the candied orange rinds and stuff, and some fresh flowers. Don't leave these in a box for too long, they'll wilt, but it makes a really pretty thing to give to friends and stuff.
Yeah, this one is for me, right?
Yes, this will be for you. What am I getting for Christmas?
What are you getting for Christmas? Well, I don't know. Your mother hasn't discussed it with me yet. But what we are going to do is to have a little bit of champagne to toast everyone. I hope you enjoyed what we done today. Remember that the turkey is roasted, as I say, upside down most of the time. We haven't put any fat on the turkey because there is enough in the skin. And I know that you're watching your diet all the time, like any young woman. So do you eat the skin of the turkey?
On the holidays, yeah.
On holidays,
During
yes,
the holidays.
Right. And how many chocolate truffle did you eat while you were doing those packages?
Not too many, only 3 or 4.
Remember, they are only 35 calories, so it's fine to have a couple. Of course, if you have 2 dozen of them, you will see the difference. But you can do that ahead, those chocolate truffle. Actually, you can freeze them. And this is terrific for gift, as Claudine is doing, with a little ribbon around. And those candied orange rind also. Sometimes we dip them in chocolate, remember? When you have your melted chocolate, you can take those rind and dip it into it, and that makes another variation on it. Well, we really enjoy cooking that dinner for you, and I hope you're going to do it for your family as we've done it, and enjoy it. I'm sure it was nice cooking for you. Enjoy it, and happy cooking.